Good afternoon, friends. Today we discuss about the topic spectrometry, some basic concepts involved in spectrometry. So, first of all, what is mean by spectrometry? So, here the name itself indicates that spectra and metry. That is, this study involves the origin of the spectra, that is how spectra is obtained, and how the interpretation of that spectra is useful to carry out the to determine the concentration of the substance which is under investigation by interaction of the electromagnetic radiation with that matter. That is, it deals with the transition which is induced when a chemical species is interact with photon of electromagnetic radiation. It examines the relationship between emission dispersion of electromagnetic radiation as a function of wavelength and frequency. Generally, this technique is widely used for analysis purpose in various fields. The most important fields are clinical, pharmaceutical, and environment. The spectrometry which is of our interest is in visible region. That is, here we deals with, in this chapter we deals with the absorption of electromagnetic radiation in visible region, which is most widely used method of analysis. Now here this diagram represents the wave nature of the electromagnetic radiation. That is, this electromagnetic radiation possesses properties of both waves and discrete particle, which is termed as photon. It vibrates, that is, this wave vibrates perpendicular to the direction of propagation, and this gives the wave motion to the radiation. So, this wave is associated with some important terms which is always associated with the waves. Now, what are that terms? The first term is wavelength. When we consider the waves, here some crest and some troughs are observed in this diagram. The distance between two successive crests is known as wavelength, or it can be defined as it is the distance traveled during the complete cycle. It is denoted by lambda. While frequency is nothing but it is the number of waves or one complete cycle, one crest, and this is another crest, or one trough and another trough. This one complete cycle which is passing a fixed point per unit time is called as frequency, and it is represented by mu sign and expressed in cycle per second or in hertz. Another important terms is wave number, which is the reciprocal of wavelength, and it is expressed in cm inverse or distance per cycle. So here these three parameter, wavelength, frequency and wave number, describe the electromagnetic radiation, and these three are related to each other by some particular equation. It is lambda is equal to c upon mu, where we have already discussed what is lambda, what is mu. Here only c is velocity of light. Second is mu bar is equal to 1 upon lambda, because wave number is reciprocal of wavelength. As mu bar is equal to 1 upon lambda, mu bar is also equal to mu upon c, or mu is equal to c upon lambda. Here this table represents the different units of wavelength. We can express the wavelength in number of different units. This is the table which represents wavelength can be measured in meter, centimeter, angstrom unit and so on. So how spectra is produced? When this electromagnetic radiation which possesses certain amount of energy which is given in terms of photon is absorbed by the sample from the particle from that sample are promoted from lower energy state to higher energy state, which is known as excited state. So the intensity of this absorption, what is the amount of intensity is absorbed by the sample, is varies with the function of frequency, and this variation is nothing but the absorption spectrum. That is one thing. It is clear that a spectrum is a graph which shows the intensity of radiation at different wavelength. It is a graphical representation of intensity versus wavelength in short. Or we can also generalize, define as it is the response of the atomic or molecular system at different wavelength of the radiation. Here this figure represents that how that atom from excited from ground state to excited state on absorption of electromagnetic radiation when it absorbs a photon of energy h mu. When this atom is excited by absorption of this discrete amount of energy, then they occupy higher energy level. This excited electron returns to ground state by emitting some particular type of radiation. See here, this excited electron when comes to ground state, it emits some particular radiation of specific wavelength, which is in turn given the spectroscopic phenomenon. So this type of changes take place in a molecule when it absorbs electromagnetic radiation having energy E is equal to h mu. Now here also this figure represent that the wavelength here increases and here the wavelength is short, that is decreases. This is long wavelength region and this is short wavelength region. Generally X-ray, gamma rays have short wavelength, but as discussed in earlier the relationship between wavelength, frequency and wave number, as wavelength is short then energy is high and frequency is also high, that is ultraviolet, X-ray, gamma ray region have a wavelength short wavelength, while radio region, microwave, infrared, all these regions have longer wavelength and having low energy. Here the equation E is equal to h mu, where h is Planck constant and E is energy of photon which is in joule, then mu is equal to C upon lambda, that is mu, that is frequency is inversely proportional to lambda. Here also shows that as frequency increases, wavelength decreases. From this equation 1, shorter the wavelength, greater is the energy. Therefore ultraviolet region has higher energy than visible. Now when we discuss about this spectrometry topic, it is also important to know the region of electromagnetic spectrum. There are different regions of electromagnetic regions as we observe in previous slide: UV region, IR region, radio frequency region, X-rays, gamma rays. But out of this, the region which is of our importance is only visible region, because most of the analysis we have to perform in visible region. So UV region is start from 10 to 380 nanometer, which is analytically important region from 200 to 300 nanometer. Below 200 nanometer, the instrument operated under vacuum. The visible region is a very small part of the electromagnetic spectrum. Visible region is a portion of electromagnetic spectrum which is visible to our human eyes, or this region is also called as simply light or visible light. A typical human eye will respond to wavelength from 380 to 780 nanometer. While third region, where some particular organic compound and also some analysis is performed, is IR region. The whole IR region is from 0.78 micrometer to 200 micrometer. But the region from 2.5 to 15 micron, which is frequently useful for various analysis purpose, is known as middle IR region, which is helpful for analysis purpose also and structure determination purpose also. While from 0.78 to 2.5 micrometer, this range is called as near IR region, and from 15 to 100 micrometer, this range is known as far IR region. Now, next point is interaction of electromagnetic radiation with matter. That is what's happen when electromagnetic radiation is absorbed by the matter. So when electromagnetic radiations are absorbed by the matter, portion of the radiation which is passed into matter, instead of being absorbed, it may be sometimes scattered or reflected, or many times the re-emitted light at the same wavelength or different wavelength upon the emerging from the sample. The intensity of the light energy absorbed is directly proportional to concentration of the medium. That's why this technique is useful for quantitative analysis purpose, and this method is known as absorption spectrometry, because the sample absorb electromagnetic radiation, then and then only it emits some or transmit some radiation which we have to measure. So absorption of radiation by matter. What's happen when the matter absorb electromagnetic radiation? It is when polychromatic light, which contain whole spectrum of wavelength in the visible region, is allowed to pass through the sample. All the light is not absorbed by the sample. It will absorb only certain wavelength, and the unabsorbed wavelength is get transmitted. The light which is seen to our eyes is that transmitted light. This color is complementary to the absorbed color. That is, for each transmitted color there must be some absorbed complementary color. For example, the well-known example is the solution of potassium permanganate, which is violet in color because it absorbs light in the green region of spectrum, that is wavelength of about 525 nanometer, and transmit the wavelength of about a wavelength of violet color, which is 380 to 450 nanometer. This table represents the color which is get absorbed by the sample. That is, when a sample absorb, for example, yellow color, then it appears as blue. That is, this blue color is complementary of yellow color, and so on. This table represents these colors at different wavelength region and in complementary color. Now, during some inorganic analysis, that is what's happen when in absorption of radiation take place by inorganic compounds. So generally, when we discuss about the inorganic compounds are sub-colored compounds. It absorbs light spectrum. It absorbs UV and visible light, and when it absorbs UV or visible light, sometimes particular type of changes take place. That changes are excitation of metal ion, excitation of ligand, and charge transfer transition. But out of these three, the first one is not our important for analysis purpose, because the molar excitation coefficient of that complex when excitation of metal ion take place is very less. Second change is excitation of ligand. As that inorganic complex is made up of ligand and central metal, the complex, the source of ion is salt. Most of the ligands are generally organic compound which acts as chelating agent. The salts react with this chelating agent, that is ligand, produce a complex. During this, when this radiation is get absorbed by the ligand, then there is transfer of electron from either pi to pi star or n to pi star. Such a type of transitions take place, and due to this transition, the wavelength and intensity of absorption changes, which produce color, which the frequency and wavelength of that color, from measuring the frequency and wavelength of that color, we can carry out the analysis. Another example is charge transfer transition. The metal chelates are color due to charge transfer, in which electron move from metal ion to ligand and vice versa. During such a type of transition, there may be either oxidation or reduction. In this, there is transfer of electron from bonding orbital to unoccupied orbital of metal ion. The wavelength of that maximum absorption depends on some particular type of transition. Mostly the metal ion is reduced and ligand is get oxidized. Now, after this inorganic analysis, that is what type of changes take place in inorganic compound. During analysis, which solvents are used is important. So generally, solvent should be such that the whole sample must be dissolved in it. It is important property. So common solvents which are used in ultraviolet and visible regions are listed in this table. For generally inorganic compounds, water meets all the requirement, that is generally all the inorganic compounds are soluble in water. Therefore, water is used as a solvent for inorganic compound. But many substances which is measured in UV region and are organic compound, which generally insoluble in water and soluble in organic solvent. So here some organic solvents are also given. Many substances which are measured in UV and visible region, which are as insoluble in water. Organic solvent must be used. For this, a cutoff wavelength is important for choice of that solvent, and that cutoff wavelength is defined as the wavelength at which the absorbance of solvent in a cell which having 1 centimeter path length is about 1. This is the cutoff wavelength of various solvent. Now some important term must be known in spectrometric analysis. Polychromatic light is no doubt, it is a light of having several wavelengths. Monochromatic beam means it is a radiation of only one wavelength, and it can be obtained by either filtering or using diffraction grating. Next important term is radiant power, which is denoted by P. In earlier days, it is referred as intensity of light. The radiant energy per unit time is called as radiant power, or it is the rate at which energy transported in a beam of radiant energy P0. Next term is transmittance. It is the fraction of incident power transmitted by the sample, or it can be defined as it is the ratio of radiant power P to the incident radiant power, which is denoted by P0, that is T is equal to P upon P0. but transmittance is always measured in percentage. Therefore, percent transmittance, that is percent T, is equal to P upon P0 into 100. Next important term is absorbance. Absorbance in early days, it is referred as optical density. It is the logarithm to the base 10 of reciprocal of transmittance. Here these are the some equations which is given by which indicates absorbance A is equal to log of 10 of 1 upon T, or it can be negative logarithm to the base 10 of transmittance, or negative log of 10 to P upon P0, and so on. Next term is absorptivity. Absorptivity is the ratio of absorbance to the path length and concentration. And molar absorptivity is the product of absorptivity and molecular weight of the substance. Thus, molar absorptivity is the absorbance when path length is 1 centimeter and concentration is 1 moles per liter. And when a sample is placed in a cuvette, the internal thickness or diameter of the cell must be important for during analysis. It must be considered. It is denoted by B, which is known as path length, and expressed in centimeter. When a beam of monochromatic light of radiant power P0, is incident beam, is incident upon a homogeneous medium of thickness B, suppose this thickness is B, the part of incident beam is absorbed by the medium and a part of it is transmitted. The transmitted radiant power is denoted by P. These are the fundamental laws of colorimetry. It is for this analysis carried out in spectrometry. All this analysis is governed by some two important laws. That is Lambert's law and Beer's law. Combining these two, we can carry out the analysis by some equations. So, what is this Lambert's law and Beer's law? The absorption of radiation by the sample in the visible region is related to both concentration and path length of the substance. So, Lambert's law is related to the path length of the substance. That is, the fraction of radiant energy transmitted, that is the transmittance of the solution, decreases exponentially with path length. That is, T is equal to P upon P0, which is equal to 10 raised to minus kb, where B is path length and K is constant. When we take the log of his equation, then log of T is equal to log of P upon P0 is equal to minus kb, because as negative log of T is equal to kb, but negative log of T is equal to A, therefore A is equal to kb, which directly indicates that absorbance of the substance is directly proportional to path length. That is, when we carry out the analysis, it is very important to consider the path length of the sample, that is the cuvette internal diameter must be considered while carrying out the analysis. That's Lambert's law can also be stated as absorbance of the solution is directly proportional to path length of the absorbing medium. Now, what is Beer's law? Beer's law is generally related to concentration of the sample. That is, the fraction of radiant energy transmitted decays exponentially with concentration of the sample. Similarly, in Lambert's law, this T is equal to P upon P0 is equal to 10 raised to K dash C. Here C is concentration of the sample. When we take log, to both sides, then log of t is equal to log of p upon p0 is equal to k dash c, that is negative log of t is equal to k dash c. But negative log of t, as we know, it is a, therefore a is equal to k dash c, which shows that absorbance here is proportional to concentration. So Lambert's law says absorbance is directly proportional to path length. Beer's law says absorbance is directly proportional to concentration. So it is, when we combine these both, it is known as Beer's and Lambert's combining law. And this by combining this law, the statement is negative log of t is equal to log of p upon p0 is equal to a into b into c, where b is path length and c is concentration. Here a is equal to k into k dash, that is the previous constant k and k dash. Combinedly we represent it as a. This a is nothing but the absorptivity, which is depends on wavelength and nature of the sample. That is, it is also the characteristics property. The absorptivity is defined as the absorbance of the solution when path length is low and concentration is 1 gram per liter, when C is mole per liter. When C is expressed in moles per liter and length in centimeter, then A absorbance is epsilon Bc, that is epsilon is molar absorptivity, which is defined as the absorbance when path length is 1 centimeter and concentration is 1 moles per liter. That is, for ideal purpose, absorbance is equal to absorptivity when path length is 1 and that concentration is also unit. These are some of the references which is used to prepare this video. Thanks for your watching.